Welcome back. I'm Mike,
And I'm Jen.
and this is Married with Gaming. We're recapping the OGGM's birthday game. I'll go ahead and let you do most of it because you take better notes.
Okay.
I'll chime in.
So he did give us each a birthday gift from him, which was a one free auto 20 for the session. Or I guess it wasn't said we had to use it that session, but we were given a free auto 20 we could use. When we had captured some goblins from the game before in the ruins, and we made it back to town where the carnival/festival is happening. We turned in the goblins and got our payment.
Yeah, because the goblins seemed like we didn't want pets.
No
pets.
No pets. We find out that Sarn was the great black dragon who used to terrorize these parts. And some of his cultists that, were aligned with him did terrible things to the region. So that's why this festival is happening, to celebrate that. And as part of that, they have a coming of age ritual for the teens where they are given a slice on the cheek and then a dagger, presumably to protect themselves and their loved ones with, as a rite of adulthood.
Yeah, nothing says growing up like cutting kids.
Right. So we know that as part of this ritual of adulthood, they do tell kind of the story of the defeat of Sarn, and Sarn was defeated by a dwarven paladin called Belinda Brassbottom, who slayed Sarn and then was buried with Sarn. And she was accompanied by her group of adventurers, a rogue, a necromancer, and a priest. But as that tale ends, like a winged shadow comes over the sky, and then an unnatural darkness appears, which fades to an image at the front of the town, or at the gate of the town, that is a very dastardly looking Tyrannosaurus dread pirate dungeon minister.
Yeah, and his Velociraptor pirate crew.
Yes, so the swarm of Velociraptor pirates come in. They're attacking people and wreaking havoc. They catch all the buildings that have been vandalized by graffiti on fire. So clearly these buildings were marked. So my guess is somebody in town knew about it.
My initial reaction was to hide.
Yeah, I hid at first too.
Behind the fruit cart.
Yeah, I hid at first too, and then I tripped a Velociraptor and stole his gun.
Yeah.
So, so we all fight in some way or another until
I thought they're pirates, and I've seen it in a movie, so I called for a parlay. Mm-hmm. And so at that point, the Dread Pirate Dungeon Minister did halt, and I approached him with kind of some terms to negotiate the situation.
And with the Velociraptors, that we'd managed to kill a few of them, or at least cause them problems. So most of them had run off and left. Some was prisoners by this point. But yeah.
My main talking goal is to find out why, who, and what.
Yes, and in the midst of you parlaying, the Dread Pirate Dungeon Minister accidentally let slip that they were paid by Sarn to keep the village occupied. So, not sure what's going on with Sarn.
And it seemed to be going well until 44 and Rogers decided to proceed with shooting.
Which, I mean, that is what one generally does when a T-Rex is standing in front of you.
No, but what I did, you don't move.
Yeah.
They can't see you.
That's true. You did do that.
Yeah. So as their combat ensued with ray guns and machine guns.
Yes. And you and 44 both used your nat 20s.
Yeah, mine was to talk to him.
Mm-hmm. And
And
44's was
stealth.
something, yeah, stealth.
He was a
And
ninja.
the result of using those nat 20s as a gift from OGGM was that your stat that you used would raise by one permanently. So that was kind of nice. Um, I decide I have nothing else to do. I can't go up there and fight him, and I don't want to interrupt the parlay. So I bring out Slime Claw, of course, and send him to go steal the pirate hat off of Dread Pirate Dungeon Minister's head. Um, which he does eventually get and bring back. Um, at the time that the Tyrannosaurus decides to leave, he withdraws after the parlay's interrupted.
Yeah, he'd been shot a bunch, so he decided he's going to live
Mm-hmm.
and retreated.
Yeah. So immediately I kind of stealthily follow because I want to see where they're going because they did take prisoners and that's not okay. I wanted to make sure we got the village people back together. And then,
Even especially, since they had captured some young men.
yes, yes, they did capture some young men. Um, and then in the town, I think you guys
Our
talked
quick
to,
investigation that
yeah.
I remember is that Sven went missing. He was the captain of the guard that had left that side of the village unguarded. And they claimed that they were told to leave. Um, Not sure who gave that order, but Sven's missing. We talked to his twin brother Scott. He's the guy that was going to get married, but his body hasn't been found.
Yeah. So while you guys are doing your little investigation in the town, I have followed the Tyrannosaurus for a little ways. And I kind of hide in the shadows and I kind of watch. Um, the little Velociraptor pirates do put some prisoners up on the ship, they tie them up, and I overhear them say that Sarn, that fake dinosaur, paid us to distract the village. And I didn't know there was going to be magic and stuff there. So he seems a little disgruntled. So I'm like, okay, what do I do? It looks like they're getting ready to take this ship and go. And I want to make sure we have a chance to rescue these villagers. So I decide to put the pirate hat on my head, jump on to the boat, and say, I'm the pirate leader, or I'm the captain now. And as I do that, I call upon the forces of nature, and water from somewhere comes bubbling up through the ship, and every one of the pirates it touches ends up becoming confused and running away in fear. So it basically scatters all the pirates except for the Dread Pirate Dungeon Minister who is standing in front of me, and I tell him, I'm the captain. We have a little discussion, and I basically, he's mad. This fake dragon or fake dinosaur didn't pay him enough to deal with magic and lose part of his crew and all of this. So I tell him we have to set the villagers free and let's go get our money from this guy. Let's go after this Sarn and get our money back. So,
Eventually, we make our way there
mhm,
with uh, Captain Rogers, the thing tracking, and
mhm,
we found on the way there some rather confused pirates that just ran by us, and
mhm.
then we came upon your your scene.
So we commandeered the ship after setting free the prisoners, and this ship apparently moves with giant crab legs that come out of the bottom and crawl along the ground. We do take a little crash course in how to operate the ship. So,
Literally.
and we take off and we arrive at the Drunken or Sunken Burt Anvil Tavern, which is in a crater in the wasteland at the bottom of a pool of sludge. And for some reason, there's an elephant there too. It is the worst looking bar in ever. And we go inside, and Dread Pirate Dungeon Minister starts asking around, roughing people up, trying to find the Sarn person. Captain Rogers tries to ask, the bartender, where he is. But in the midst of this, one of the people in the bar is a goblin wearing a nun's habit and carrying a ruler. And of course, Nurse Honey, she's the best around, bar none. So somehow our dear little Nurse Honey ends up instigating a bar fight with the goblin. Starts with like a ruler slap contest and becomes a full-on bar fight. So the bar fight continues. Honey knocks the goblin out.
I just steal drinks during the bar fight. That's the other trope I decided to embrace. Do that.
Yeah.
Don't get beat up.
And then Captain Rogers ends up firing a gun, which kind of brings everything to a roaring stop.
Yes, it will.
Yes. And after some discussion, we find out that Sarn kind of came from or was in the direction of the Crooked Tower, or this person that worked for Sarn, which is a day west, and supposedly...
I thought there was a hermit there.
Supposedly the hermit is Father Didymus, the high priest of Thor or St. Cuthbert, who was in the adventuring party with Belinda Brassbottom, who supposedly killed Sarn.
I'm glad you wrote all that down.
I took a lot of notes. So, and that was where we ended, with finding out that this Father Didymus is where we're headed next. So it was another exciting, fun, crazy time in not Dunkirk.
So it looks like we're going to go track down some clues and find out what's really going on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So,
do you want to find out what's going on and clue me in? Then you can go to the OGGM's channel and watch.
Yeah.
Right.
So, we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching, and please take a moment to like and sub.